All right, good morning, everybody. I am Chloe, and this is Rise and Right. We'll be going for the next 2 hours. We'll be doing word sprints. We'll either be doing 15-minute or 20-minute sprints. Sandy might be joining us, in which case we'll do 15-minute sprints because I'll have more to fill that time with. And fill the break time with. But if Sandy does not join us, we'll be doing 20 minutes and then it'll just be 5-minute breaks in between. Either way, we should get a whole bunch of work done. We are starting with a 5 at the beginning. Also, I was just watching the interview with Mia Poncetto, and wow, she's crazy. I had seen I knew that this interview that Gail King had with her had happened, and I had saw some articles about it and about like all the ridiculous things that crazy girl said. This is the girl who is 22 years old and attacked a 14-year-old boy about accusing him of stealing her phone when her phone was in an Uber, apparently. Good morning, Elizabeth, and good morning, Courtney. Anyway, so I saw some. If you guys are interested in this story at all, it's crazy. She's just like completely out of touch with reality and super entitled and all of that stuff. And she's like, they need to apologize to me because I'm traumatized by this. Like, she attacked this kid for no reason. Whether it was racial profiling or not, I don't know. I'm not going to call somebody else racist when they're probably just like a lunatic, whatever. But if you've seen any of the articles about this interview that she did with Gail King, I highly recommend watching the actual interview because there was all kinds of craziness with it that was not reported in the recaps of the interviews. So that was my morning. I am working on the demon romance today. I am falling way behind on that. It's funny. I was planning on having it done by like the 10th, even though I had said the 14th, and now it's the 12th, and I don't even think I'm going to get it done by the 14th, but that's okay. So let's go ahead. Oh, let me actually share this screen. There we go. So we are going to write for the next 10 minutes. Perfect. That's what it's set to. It is 5 after. So I will see you guys at 1:15. Okay, I am back. I got 134 words there. And really, I only wrote for about 5 minutes, so I feel pretty good about that. And hopefully, it will be indicative of a successful day as opposed to every other day that I have had this calendar year. Hey, CB, thank you for joining. Let me know how y'all did. I don't have a topic to talk about today. I don't know what I'm doing today. I was expecting Sandy to be here. Like not in a way where I'm irritated that she's here, just in a way that I was dumb and was like, "Oh, lady with a newborn can definitely commit to things." And that's not true. Also, I know some of y'all were here for yesterday afternoon's. I can't remember my shows right now. Yesterday's Word Stitch. That baby is still not here. It's now like 30, 24. Yeah, it's now like 36 hours, 35 that they've been at the hospital for. I'm glad I don't have kids. I'm glad I'm not ever planning on having kids like this alone. Like, oh my God. I haven't gotten like any updates. I don't know. Maybe the baby happened. I would think that he would tell me, but Lord knows what's going on. Elizabeth got 386. That's awesome. And yeah, Courtney, I feel like if I got to like the 12-hour point, I would start getting irritated. Like really, like just get on with this. Maybe just C-section this thing out because I don't. Yeah, and I was saying to my best friend, who obviously is also close to my roommate, that at this point, Ken has literally wasted an entire day of his life that he was just doing nothing, sitting in a hospital room. And like I say that because it's not like I'm not saying that he doesn't like have stuff to do, but also he was prompt in responding to texts, which means that he wasn't doing anything except hanging out with her. Like nothing was going on that he needed to be there for, so to speak. So, and I have like, I have been the other person at a birth before. So like, yes, I'm not at all discounting his role there, but yeah, like he literally could have like gone to work and all of that. It was a wasted day off. And she was telling me that this was an ex-boyfriend of hers who they maintained a really good friendship. But when his wife had their second baby, he literally did go to work. Like he's always worked from home. He's a computer tech, but like he showed up at a meeting and everybody was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, I mean, nothing's happening, so let's do this meeting. So yeah, as Courtney says, it's a very boring wait. It's exciting for the first hour, and then you're just waiting and tired. Yes, that is very much it. And then there's obviously that point where everybody is just trying to sleep, and they're like, "Why can I not just be home in my own bed?" Yeah. So now I feel bad about criticizing them for how long it took them to leave the house on Monday. No, today is Tuesday. So Sunday night, it took them an hour to leave the house after her water had broken. And I was like, that seems like a really long time. But also, most of my friends, I feel like I do need to like clarify when I say that I'm used to my friends pretty much all of my friends have had to have like been in active labor before their water broke. And Kat wasn't, and I just wasn't thinking about that. But like a few of my friends have had to have their water broken at the hospital. But most of them, the water doesn't break until they're already at the hospital. So it was just like a weird, I'm not really thinking it's the middle of the night, and he tells me that their water broke, and they don't leave for another hour. Like, oh my God, what is happening down there? Y'all need to go. But also she wanted to do the have a baby in a bathtub thing. So I guess when you're doing that water birth, maybe there's less of a sense of urgency to get to the hospital. Anyways, let's go ahead and do our next sprint. It is going to be a 20-minute sprint. There we go. And there we go. So it is 8:21. So I will see you guys at 8:41. Okay, we are back. Shadow, you're not that late. We've only had 2 sprints. We have what? 3 or 4 to go. At some point, I will figure out how many sprints I'm actually doing in each ride-in. This isn't difficult math, but here we are. Yeah, no, you're fine. And let me know how everybody did. I did get words done. Not as many as I wanted. I don't know. I keep getting distracted by things. You know what? No, I'm not even going to blame myself for distractions today. I keep checking. Oh God, I typed the wrong number in. Hold on. I had the wrong setting. There we go. Let's see. Anyway, I have Facebook open constantly now. I got 361 words. I have Facebook open constantly now because that is how my roommate and I communicate. We use Facebook Messenger, and I've been waiting for. Oh, I got all kinds of badges that I didn't want from that. I'm waiting to find out about this damn baby that we're at like this 36th hour of. Also, the cats are just like despondent about this. Look at that sad cat right there. This is absolutely sad because Dad ran out at the last second yesterday. Or 2 days ago, and hasn't been seen since. And yeah, sorry, baby. So let's see. It looks like everybody did well. Good morning, John Finch. We are doing 5-minute breaks in between 20-minute sprints today. Let's see. Elizabeth got 595. That is fantastic. And Courtney got 567. You both did great. You both always do great, but you both did great. I don't know what you mean about not what you were shooting for. 567 is a whole bunch of words. John is working on editing his second novel. That is fantastic. Sorry, I hit something and now my screen is making funny noises. Yeah, I am doing the best I can today, and that's pretty much all we can do, right? But I do. Oh, that was what that funny beeping sound was. Oh God, what have I done?
What have you done? Good morning. I'm sorry. You're doing great.
There.
Your best is better than my best this morning. I'm impressed.
It's been a whole day. How are you doing this morning?
It's only 8:45. That's early for a whole day. And I'm good. I've got a clean fed baby. I'm up. There was a shower that happened. I feel like that's like a massive accomplishment.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that. I've had coffee and a bowl of cereal. So you're doing great today.
So I've got like the breakfast of champions here. This is power balls, except that like I didn't have time to roll them into balls. So instead, I just have a spoon for what is essentially like oatmeal mixed with peanut butter and honey.
That works.
It does.
That works. I don't know. I feel like that is on par with the fact that for breakfast every morning, I tend to have some yogurt.
Yogurt is good.
I like Greek yogurt and I buy it in the big container, but like I just eat it directly out of the big container, so I have absolutely no idea how much yogurt I am eating.
But it's so much more expensive to buy it in the small containers. And it's not like you can binge eat yogurt, you know? You're
I
not
could
gonna...
put it in a bowl, though. I could be like an adult, and instead of eating it directly out of the carton for a week, I could put it in a bowl, but I don't.
I actually think that like moving to a stage in your life where you have to do something like eat things out of a bowl, like, you know, like out of a Rubbermaid tin, or like not eat things out of a bowl, or like, you know, eat them out of a whole Greek yogurt container. That is a sign that you've achieved the level of busyness that an adult should have. Like, because you kind of reverted, right? Like you did that back in college. Then there was like a stage in your life where like things were maybe slightly more together, like for like a few months or something. You were like, I'm putting this damn yogurt in a bowl.
And then no.
And then no.
No, that is such a waste of a bowl. I don't have time to empty that dishwasher.
Yeah. Hi, Courtney, by the way. Thanks for saying hello.
So, John, I am working on the 5th book in my demon romance series, which is, I wanted it to be a novella, and it's already, oh my God, it is so far blasted beyond novella. It's already at 30,000 words, and I've got like another 20,000 left in it, I think. And I don't think there's any way for me to recover that. We'll find out, though. It just doesn't need to be anywhere near as long as it is. So maybe I can cut out a whole bunch. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Sandy, what are you working on today?
I am. So I was going to try to proofread that entire novel yesterday. Yeah, no, this morning I'm just putting it into like the files, looking at like the last chapter I edited and then sending it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I support that. I did not get all of that writing done that I wanted to last night, but I did put together a new ad, and I so I got some stuff done. I just feel like my ad is going to lose its steam soon. But then also right after deciding that, I had a really good day with sales yesterday. So I don't know. Yes, John, both me and Sandy are published. I am published as Chloe Alice Balkin. My links are below, and Sandy
is published as Sandy. Yeah.
What was that?
It's published as me.
Is it Sandy or Sandra for
it's published as Sandra.
Yeah. So our links are below, but Sandy's published YA fantasy and a memoir. And what else do you have?
Romance stuff.
Is that under Sandy though?
No, that's under Wesley Ash, and it's that whole. I mean, I have barely had time to do anything with that. So, yeah. Sorry. Yes. Milk of the baby is at a bottle.
Yeah, we're around. Sandy has of many names. I am just my name.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do our next sprint, though.
Let's do it.
Let's see how I can jam sprints together this time. We are going to go ahead and do a 20 again and just go and see what happens. So it is 8:50. We'll see you guys at 10 after. All right. We are back. How did you do, Sandy?
I am at the point where I'm going to start like exporting stuff and merging things, so I'm good.
Excellent. It looks like I got a good amount of words in that time. Let's see. I got 494, so I am getting closer to where I would like to be. um, yeah, hopefully I can keep those word counts up. They're about to have a big fight, and like a big verbal fight, and that usually means big words for me. So
Is this Eloise and Killian again?
yes, it is.
Okay, that's very exciting. Would you have a title for this book?
Yeah, this is Killian's lucky day.
Yeah, December is such a like blur for me. I don't think I even like if you told me the title of the book, it completely slipped my brain. Not just like a little bit, not like, oh, you just said that and I like vaguely remember you mentioning it. No. There's nothing there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So Melanie joined us during that sprint. Thanks for coming. And CB in the previous sprint got 62 words and dealt with the Royal Mail's utter stupidity. I have stuff that I need to send out, like USPS. And I thought that like once the holidays were over, everything would be fine. But now I have this package that was UPS that was supposed to be here on the 9th. And as of the 9th, they're like, it's on the way, but we don't know when it's going to be there. And there's been no tracking updates. So I guess it's still all messed up out there.
Apparently. That's
yeah. CB got 267 in this sprint, and John got 350 in this sprint. Elizabeth scheduled social media. That's fantastic. And Shadow got breakfast and woke kids. Also important.
Yes, that is important. That's very important.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, there is still exhaustion going on in my life. So I have like a large amount of cleaning to do today. Also, you know that like post holiday, like everything needs to come down and be picked up and be like cleaned up kind of thing that you were supposed to do like January 2nd. That's what I need to do today after this.
Yeah.
And also sleeping.
I still have my Christmas tree up.
Oh,
I wanted to do it this weekend, and then I wasn't feeling well this weekend. I got tonsillitis this weekend, which I am prone to it, so it's not anything surprising, but I did. So I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with the Christmas tree. CB said that for some reason, Royal Mail has a bad habit of sending her mail to an apartment block around the corner, which is the same number but a different street. We have the exact same problems here. I'm 421 Big John Trail. I constantly get mail for 412 and 419 and 241. I also will get mail for another road in our neighborhood that the house is 421, but I think it's on Maze Drive. So like the names are not even similar. So we have the same problems here. It sucks everywhere. Courtney got 604. That is awesome. And Better Days has joined us. Wow. I'm looking at the Z and Zellers and has joined us. Welcome. Yeah.
My mail also comes to weird places. My neighbors get it. Like I get their mail. It's very, very strange.
Every time we get, like, obviously it happens with the Amazon stuff. And so every single time Ken will have this complete meltdown. I'm like, can we just go ask Eric if he's gotten your package? I promise you it's probably Eric who has it. And he's the one who's like, a house over and a house down. Like he's across the street and a house down, or for some reason that tends to be where our stuff ends up. But we get a little bit of everybody. So yeah. And Melanie says she keeps getting mail for the gentleman who lived in this unit before you took over. Yeah, I've gotten to the point with that where I'm pretty aggressive. They've stopped because of this, but I'm really aggressive with like, regardless of what it is, even if it's junk mail, I will put return to sender on it every single time. And if you make yourself a big enough of a nuisance for the postal carriers, they tend to stop giving it to you.
Do they? That has never worked for me, and I'm getting mail for like some random place here where I like keep sending return to sender. Maybe my post office people are like really super tolerant. Like maybe they're
Maybe. I mean, like, this is obviously not this time around because we've been here 5 years, but in 2016, it was literally like every single political mailer
wow.
that came to all of these other people. It was also like it was every single day for us. I don't know what kind of quantity you're getting, but for us, it was like multiple people every single day that I just had a pen that lived next to me in the car, and I would sit in front of the mailbox and write return to sender on like 3 things every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do our next sprint.
Okay, let's do this.
We're going to go for 20 again. And it is 9:17. So we will see you guys at 9:37. Okay, we are back. What'd you get done, Sandy?
You're back. I have my EPUB file done.
Excellent.
Yes. I should have the PDF done soon. I have my Goodreads record created, my BookBub record created. I was so much more careful about all of these things like a year ago. And it's been a really good thing, right? Like the book that I really am concerned about right now is the memoir, and I actually need to do like real work on that, like real good work on that. And I don't. It's not that I don't care about this fantasy series, because I'm always going to love it best. It is the first child, but it's the first child. It's like older, you know. It's not as
well that, and like you've kind of accepted your fate with that project. Yeah,
that is true too. Yeah. Yes, and I think for those of you watching, I think this has been it's been a really good lesson for me, right? Like I'm really, really glad I published that series. And also, it's always going to be my backlist because I had absolutely no clue how to write to a genre. Like just none.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm at that point where like I keep seeing other authors talk about craft books, and I've always said I don't need craft books. And like I feel I still don't really need craft books, but now I'm like, maybe I should be reading craft books. I don't know if any of them would be worth the investment on time, but
no.
And I feel like part of it is that like that point where like you know too much about something already, and then you go back to the beginner stuff and you wish you had it at the beginning, but you're past that point now. That's how I feel about, like Save the Cat and all of that. Like I just don't I know this stuff enough already that going back and trying to learn it that way, I'll just reject everything.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And so here's what I think what happens with authors like you or me. I think we know what we're supposed to do, right? And actually, your books, I think your Candy for Demon books are amazing. Like, I don't think you need to worry about it. But
I got to figure out how to sell them though, and hopefully my newest trick that I've come up with is going to help me with that.
And you need enough money to have a professional cover designer. That would be like huge.
I mean.
But okay. But I think what happens with those craft books, at least for me, is like I know what I'm supposed to do, but was I able to pull it off? Not necessarily. And I don't think the craft books can teach you how to pull it off. Like I think no matter what you do, you can know what Save the Cat means. You can know you need that moment. And your like Save the Cat moment might just kind of suck. Like maybe it's just not that good. You know? Right? Like it's like he's just not that into you. Like maybe it just wasn't that interesting. Like maybe your readers just don't really care about your like feminist political rampage fantasy book. Like maybe what they really want is just a book with kind of like a mildly dumb heroine who like feels bad about herself until she discovers she has magic powers nobody else has. You know, like this is that's what I really think happens at some stage is the craft doesn't help you. Yeah. Although I will say, okay, so I've been reading Outlander.
Yes.
Which I hate, but
I
have
a question really quickly. Have you watched the show?
No, I wanted to give the book a chance before I watched the show.
So I'm right now watching the show. So once you read the book and watch the show, I want to find out if it's worthwhile for me to also read the book.
Yeah, no,
I own the book. I've just never read it. And it's gigantic, and it's a whole gigantic series. So it's a big investment where I could just like watch the show.
Well, I mean, here's the thing that's interesting about this book for me. So I've been reading it and going, wow, like this woman is really good at description. Like every single thing that she does is so incredibly visual. Like I really like feel like I can put myself there. And that's like a massive weakness for me. I'm good at characters. I'm not good at like making a scene look really super pretty. So So now I'm like looking at some of my stuff and thinking, oh, I could have done that better. Like I could have done that better. And I think that every author does that. I think that you like learn as you go, and it's based on like reading. But here's the other thing is I'm reading that book and going, wow, this is really boring. Like she could have skipped like 90% of that description.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is it is a trade-off. And it's funny because when I read stuff that I wrote, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago, if I'm reading like Girlfriend by the Hour, or if I am reading Magical Cave of Glowing Wonder, I've got amazing description in those books, and they're also monsters.
They're much longer.
And now I've got very lean description.
But they're easier to read.
And I think like for who I'm targeting, I have definitely gotten negative feedback on A Christmas Demon for Clara for being sparse in my description. And I do not regret being sparse in my description. I think that I know for a fact that the person who left that feedback is somebody who reads all genres. I am not targeting all genres. A book called A Christmas Demon for Clara is not targeting somebody who reads a broad range of stuff and only dabbles a little bit in romance. I am looking for romance readers, specifically paranormal romance readers.
Who want a fast, easy read. And the only description that matters is what the guy looks like and what the girl looks like. So and what they feel like when they're together.
Exactly. Like you get that like base description. You don't need anything fancier than that. You want to get those like little pops of description here and there, but like it just does not need to be some flowing thousands of words toward description. But the other side of that is that 2 projects from now, I'm going to go back briefly to that historical paranormal romance. And that one, I'm going to need a lot more description in it.
Different set of readers though, right? Because historical romance readers love that like Outlander, like stepping into this world of
like I need to create 18th century France and also 18th century Ireland, I believe is where the other part is. I say it like that because we've discussed this before. I don't know the difference in places over there. So I know where it is, and I just don't know what part of the British Isles it is. So, but like I have to actually build those worlds and make it those worlds. Yeah. So I do need the description then.
I feel like we should look at some of these comments because there's
there's a ton of comments there. Yeah. We will do one more sprint. We're going to run a little bit over since we got caught up in conversation, but we will do another sprint probably in about 5 minutes. We'll do our last 20.
So Melanie says there's a big difference in writing resources and craft books. I think that's really interesting, and I totally agree. Let's see what her second comment on this is. Trouble with craft books is that once she learns the theory behind something, she analyzes everything. Right. Which really ruins books for you, doesn't it? Once you know what somebody's doing, then you like do you find yourself now watching movies and being like, oh, seriously? So now I know who's going to die.
So, I 100% agree, but also there is a flip side to that, and I feel like the reason that so many people hated how the Game of Thrones TV series ended is because they don't understand this side of things. And I feel like because I had a better appreciation and understanding for why they ended it the way they did. And I recognize the fact that no matter how they ended it, everybody was going to hate it.
I mean, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but like when you have an epic world, like George R.R. Martin has created, I feel like no matter what you do, like you're going to have monster fans, right? So they're either going to absolutely love what you did, or you're going to do something that totally disappoints them, and then you've like lost them forever.
Mm-hmm.
So CB says she feels like maybe she doesn't have enough education to like become a better writer via craft books. And I don't know. So CB, I don't think you need to worry about, like, I don't think it's about like certainly things like having an MFA. It's a really pretty way to learn how to analyze books and movies. But does that help you become a better writer? I don't think it does. I think just
the thing with MFAs is that there are, if I remember correctly, there are exactly 3 programs in the entire United States. I have no idea for your side of the world, but in the United States, in all of the, like, I'm sure at least tens of thousands of universities that we have here, there are exactly 3 that have an MFA in genre fiction. There are only 3 programs in the entire United States that's actually going to tell you how to write fiction that sells. I say it that way. I feel like I always have to pad my statements. I'm not saying that literary fiction does not sell. Some of it does. But you are, that's like trying to be the prima donna. Like, good luck. You might be the prima donna, but most likely you're never going to get there. Or, being, any sort of creative. It's, it's my friends who go to art school, and I have all of these ones who are trying to be artists, and as in, like, I am going to sell my art and it's going to be amazing. And pretty much all of them just live in destitution on their parents' money. But then I have a couple of friends who went to art school who are now like layout editors and stuff like that and are doing great. So those MFAs
might not matter. No, CB says that she's talking about basic education and that, like, because she has special needs, she might be ineligible for certain basic education that you need to become a writer. So CB, I'm just gonna put this out here. Writers need one thing, and it's to be able to communicate. And you are communicating with us just fine. So whatever education you had, I think maybe you have more than you think. Like, maybe you have some like natural ability to communicate, and you should believe in that. And do what you can with it, because honestly, that's what most of the rest of us are doing anyway. So
yeah,
I appreciate, wanting more, like, and wanting to have that. Like, sometimes you might feel held back, but don't let it destroy your confidence.
Yes. Also, at one point, Melanie said if I need any information on 18th century France, let her know. Absolutely. It is a nightmare for me to research that. 18th century, there is so much stuff that takes place. I mean, Highlander, I keep calling it Highlander. Outlander takes place. Like, that's where it takes place. And of course, it's like 95% in Scotland for the first, I don't know book-wise, but for the first 2 seasons. And then there's that little chunk of France. There's absolutely nothing that I have been able to find for historical romance that takes place in 18th century France, let alone anything paranormal. So any resources that you could send my way, I would love to have, because I have been trying to find anything other than like reading. I am in Marseille, I believe. That is the one that's the southern port, if I remember correctly, and that's where I am. And that's another thing, is I don't know what a difference it makes. But yeah, anything you've got from that time period that you want to send my way, I will gladly take it. Okay, let's go ahead and do our last sprint.
Okay.
If I can find the right mouse. I have 2 mouses that just sit next to each other now, because that's the world that I live in. Okay. We are going to go for 20. Yeah, Melanie, I won't be working on that until probably the beginning of February. So yeah, whenever. Okay. We'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay. Oh, okay. We are back. That was our last sprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get done, Sandy? What were you working on in that last set?
I uploaded the Mobi and EPUB files for my ARC, and I'm almost ready to upload the PDF. The files are enormous. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm having to learn how to compress my PDFs because that's my current problem. Like, this is like an 885 page file because I had to include books 1 and 2.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. And it has to be PDF for that. So yes, that is going to be a monster.
Yeah.
I get it now. I was about to say, how the hell
did I end up with that many? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it makes sense. I got 288 and excuse me, a total of 1,653 for the morning, which is great. Also, in the middle of that sprint, I got a ding from Ken sending me a photo, and I'm like, oh, it's the baby. No, it's a fucking meme.
It's a meme.
Yeah, it's just a meme. He just sent me a meme.
Is the baby like alive yet? Born?
I am assuming not.
Wow, that's terrible. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure she's fine, but like that must be a lot of labor.
Yeah. I mean, they are past the 36-hour point since her water broke. So this is insane, y'all.
Oh, that poor
and also,
thing.
I haven't actually asked Ken how things are going, but he's also not telling me how things are going. So I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's just fine. Maybe she's having like a really happy, natural, calm 36 hours.
Sorry. This is also like over 2 nights now because she went into labor as they were going to bed. And now there's been a whole other night since that.
I actually really do feel bad for her for this. Like that sounds like atrocious.
I feel like there's a point where if this baby doesn't come, it's gonna have to be a C-section, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and that'll like a third of all babies are C-sections. It's a vast amount.
And like a lot of them now are elective, but
they try to.
Well, and like I don't consider yours to be elective because yours was a medical, yeah,
but they try to convince you not to do that. Like it's it's not good for you to have a C-section.
No.
That's not your like ideal in most circumstances.
No, everything I have read about it has said absolutely not. If you can avoid this, you should.
Yeah.
And like it's funny because the number one reason for it that I hadn't even been thinking about was the risk of getting sepsis.
I mean, that makes sense. Like your entire body is being opened, right? Like they have to stitch through 7 layers or something like that later on. So
and of course, obviously, like for your situation, I don't know, CB, you were saying that you had been that there had been an issue with your birth as well, which is the reason that you had to be done C-section. And that's fine. I mean, we have that procedure for that reason, because if you know, a vaginal birth is not safe for whatever reason, then absolutely do it. But like, if you're just doing it because you just want to have a C-section, it's not necessarily the best option to take.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, so she's been in labor for what, like 36 hours now. I really do feel bad for people like that, you know, because like a C-section it's major surgery, right? So that sucks. But then like if you plan it, you kind of get like the best of that world, right? Like there's no labor pains. You
are not in labor for 36 hours.
Yeah, like you have a scheduled time. They're like, you should be here at 8:30. Like you have time to blow dry your hair and take a shower. Mm-hmm. You go in, you take like adorable pictures. You're like all happy and smiles because like, you know, you're not feeling any pain. And then like they give you a spinal and like you feel that and everybody complains about the spinal, but like it's actually really like no worse than a flu shot. And like you're like that's it. That's it. The end. Then you don't feel your legs for like 2 hours and then it's over. Like
yeah.
Mission accomplished. But
I feel like, so when you say spinal, you're talking about the epidural, right?
Well, I how did the anesthesiologist explain this to me? I had an actual spinal, not an epidural, but
okay.
I had like when you do a planned section, you have that option because an epidural is set up for like when they don't know how long you're going to need it for. Like I think there's actually like a tap into your spine where they can keep pushing drugs. The spinal, there's like one thing, they know it's going to last for like a couple hours and then it's over. Like so it's the easier.
Right. I hear people, you had said that, you know, some people complain about spinals, but it's always epidural that I hear people complain about. And I get the logic in that one. Like for the women I know who have gone both with and without an epidural, the majority of them have said it was better without the epidural.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it would be like to like do labor with an epidural, but I mean like people say that like the worst part of the C-section is where you get the epidural, like actually the needle, which is the same as the spinal.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, but if you had to labor for 36 hours first,
yeah,
now you're not in the land where you can just blow dry your hair.
Yeah,
you had to have all that misery and like all that stress to your body, and then I'm worried about her. Actually, that's not like she won't survive. People,
right? No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. This is really stressful.
It's super stressful. It probably sucks. Like she's probably not a super happy camper right now. I'm sure she will be after the baby is born. But
no, I really am. Like again, it's not a can of worms that I want to open.
Yeah.
Partially because I don't like opening cans of worms, and partially because honestly, I don't care. I really don't care. Other than like that like morbid curiosity, but like. So I'm not asking Ken how it's going, but like, what the hell is happening right now?
I mean, I think a lot of women go into these and like they're expecting this like happy, hippie, fairy tale, natural birth, right? Like,
yeah, in a bathtub.
It's gonna be fine. Except that like we've forgotten that women used to die during this procedure, like regularly, right? So now like a third of all women have C-sections. That's not good odds. Like if you were hoping for the natural birth, like that's not that much better than a roll of the dice, right? That you're going to get what you want. If you don't get what you want, then you get like the exact opposite of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And we just don't think it's going to happen to us, right? Like, oh, this isn't going to be me. My like yoga and breathing meditation classes are going to prevent whatever problems used to kill other women.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I've got a friend with multiple sclerosis who attempted to do the natural birth. And we're like, what is wrong with you? Your body cannot handle this. Your doctor told you literally do not get pregnant. Don't have this baby. The doctor recommended abortion because she does have massive health issues because of multiple sclerosis. And sure enough, she went to the birthing center because, you know, she's got that hippy dippy granola crowd. It's like, yeah, we can do this. It's just a mess. You're fine. And sure enough, 3 hours later, she had to be like emergency ambulance rush to the hospital for a C-section.
Oh, you know what though? Like if I would never judge somebody for wanting that. I just feel really bad for them when they don't get it. You know,
like Right, we're gonna go. Sorry for like dragging this whole thing out. You guys have
drama.
A great. Oh well, yes, and CB, that's exactly the situation here. Is that right now they're at 30? They're past 36 hours, so they are heading toward that 48-hour mark. And again, since he is literally sending me memes about the attack on the Capitol building, I'm assuming progress isn't happening.
Not happening fast enough, but progress isn't happening, but everybody's still alive. So
Right.
Yeah. So it's
Right.
fine.
We're still in a situation where there's nothing else to do except dick around on Facebook. So I will be back here tomorrow night. I will probably be on Twitch hopefully this afternoon and definitely tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if I'm going to be crafting or writing though. Yeah, so, but I will definitely be back. We'll be back on this channel. I don't know if Sandy will be with me, but I'll be back on this channel tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for Night Right. And then Thursday and Friday, I have my morning shows, Thursday at 10 and Friday at 8. Anything from you, Sandy?
No, but I may be back at least on Thursday. We'll see. It could be that I'm like back more often because now like we have no normal sleeping schedule. So like what's 8 to 10 in the morning versus 8 to 10 at night? Like,
right. That was what I was
period.
I had that thought. I don't know. At some point, you had made a comment about like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do those night shows, and I was thinking, I mean, does that have any? Do you have any concept of time whatsoever right now?
No, none. Zero.
That's fine if you don't want to do the night shows, but also I feel like time doesn't exist right now.
Yeah. Indeed. Yes, that's right. So maybe I'll be back tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, but probably sometime this week.
Yes. Awesome. You guys all have a great day and good luck with your projects. Bye, everybody.